Okay. So the lesser curvature of the stomach, remember how the stomach's kind of cranked around a little bit? This is the lesser curvature here. It's just that upper
Right
curve.
before the fundus. Or like,
If your stomach kind of curves up, and you have a concave part and then you have the convex part. The concave part, the upper kind of curve where it comes down and then cranks back up into the duodenum, into the pyloric portion, that's the lesser curvature, which is associated with the lesser omentum, right? This is the greater curvature. Makes sense, it's bigger. And it is connected to the greater omentum. Okay. Did I forget anything else? No? All right, we ready for liver? Okay, liver, unlike lungs, you might need to know what the lung is, but the liver, you need to know lobes. So what are the lobes of the liver? Right and left what?
Lateral.
Okay, so this is
Right lateral lobe.
right lateral lobe. This is
Right medial lobe.
right medial lobe. This is
Left medial lobe.
Right. Let me left.
Left.
I do that. Left lateral. What is this one? This lobe down here, underneath. Caudate lobe of the liver is the one in
Caudate
back.
lobe of liver.
All right. What is this organ, which is green in a lot of them, but not in Clyde? Okay. And then we have something coming from the gallbladder. What is the duct that comes out of the gallbladder? Cystic duct. And it joins with what duct? Hepatic duct to form the
Common bile duct.
common bile duct, which goes into where? It goes into the duodenum. And we were talking at one of the tables. It goes into the duodenum at something called the duodenal ampulla, or opening. It travels with the pancreatic duct. This is stuff you need to know for lecture. And it has a sphincter, and the sphincter is controlled by what enzyme?
CCK?
CCK, cholecystokinin. So if CCK is around, then the sphincter relaxes, and the pancreatic secretions and the bile that's coming from where it's produced in the liver, are going to go into the duodenum. If there's no CCK around, that sphincter stays tight, and so the bile that's coming from the liver can't get into the duodenum, right? Can't get into the common bile duct. Well, it can, but then it can't go anywhere. So it makes a U-turn and goes back into the
Gallbladder.
gallbladder, which is storage. Common misconception is that the gallbladder actually makes bile. It doesn't. It stores bile and gets gallstones.
so back to what's this like?
Back up, falciform ligament. Separates the right and left parts of the liver and comes down from the diaphragm. This one's a little bit on the ratty side.
Which one is it?
It's this right here.
Oh,
But
separate.
it might be more, there's more of it. This got kind of trashed. You can see where it's kind of broken. But basically, the falciform ligament comes from the diaphragm and separates the liver into those right and left parts. Okay? Where are we? Oh, God, oh, mesentery. Okay, so we looked at this when we were looking at the pancreas. Don't get it confused with the pancreas. This is the
Spleen.
spleen. This is a poor excuse for a pancreas right here. There are some better ones. We'll look at that. So we need to look at the salivary glands, and we need to look at a pancreas. Is there anything else that we didn't find on here too well? Okay, where else are we? Spleen. Oh, the mesentery. The stuff in between small bowels. Okay, so there's two things you could see in between the loops of the small bowel. One is bright yellow, and that would be hepatic portal vein. I don't want any of you to miss that if that's on that test. The other thing would be, what structure is this? And that's called the mesentery. It kind of holds the loops of the bowel together. So if it's not bright yellow, then it's mesentery, and it's in between loops of small bowel. Okay, respiratory system. So we got glottis. We're going to look at this too. The diaphragm is part of the respiratory system. This one's a little bit shaggy, but you can still see it. The lungs we talked about, the trachea, and you crossed out aortic hiatus and esophageal hiatus. Correct? Okay. Any questions about digestive, respiratory? Okay.